RichBody, health, fitness, lifestyle.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the RichBody podcast, episode number 2. So this week, Jen and I had a pretty exciting week. We actually got our kids' gym memberships.
So it was more exciting for them than it was for us.
Well, it was exciting for us, too.
Sure, but they were thrilled.
I'm excited.
Yeah, they were thrilled.
But that is the topic of our podcast today. Keeping your kids active and healthy and fit.
Yeah, so we want to give you like a preview of, the highlight of our week and how we keep our kids fit and active.
Yeah. The kids have been watching us train and go to the gym for so many years. I mean, since they were babies, actually, right? So it's normal for them to know that mom and dad are at the gym, early in the morning. I mean, we couldn't go separately when they were younger because one of us had to stay. But, the last few years that they were old enough to stay home alone, we've been going by ourselves or together to the gym in the morning. So they understand that, we go to the gym every day and we train and they watch us and they come to our shows. So the gym is a huge part of our lives.
Yeah, so now it's cool that they're
in
actually that
part
of our world because
Yes.
It's such a huge part of our lives.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
they're
So
just so excited to come in and see where all the action happens.
It's awesome. And it's, it's funny because they already know the lingo. Like
Yeah.
they know what the different exercises are called. They don't necessarily know how to do them properly, of course, but they hear us talking about it so much that they know, or they know their way around the gym. They know the squats and they know the deadlifts and they know stuff like that and they see it online. So it's really, really exciting for us. And, we're excited because, we're able to get them memberships at the gym at a good time because now that the school season is coming to an end, a lot of the activities that kids were doing, your swimming, your soccer, your dance, a lot of that stuff is coming to an end.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's crucial for us to keep our kids physically fit, physically active.
Absolutely.
So this is our way of doing it, incorporating just gym time into their activities. But I mean, for those parents out there who can't get gym memberships or choose not to, we encourage families to just get out there and do something active.
Yeah.
Go to the park, go for a walk. There's, community pools out there. Just make an effort to do one thing every day to get your kids moving. Yeah,
I think that's the biggest issue with summertime coming up is that, when the school year's around, you're so busy. You've got things planned. You've got practice, you've got games, you've got swim meets, you've got dance competitions, you've got everything going on. So the kids have a routine and they have everything. But the problem with summer rolls around and all those things are done unless your kids are in camps and stuff. But then it becomes kind of hard to find different activities for the kids to do.
Yeah.
And the problem with this day and age is when they don't have anything to do, they sit on their phones, they sit on their iPads, they sit on their computers. I mean, it's not like when we were growing up where, summer was the best. We'd get up at 7:00 in the morning, we'd jump on our bikes and we'd be gone the entire day.
Yeah.
We'd go to the park, we'd go to the marina, we'd go to the beach, we'd go everywhere all day long.
Yeah.
And it wasn't uncommon for us to be gone from home for 8, 10, 12 hours and then just come home at night.
Yeah, times have changed.
Times have changed. You can't do that anymore nowadays. So it's tougher with the kids because they don't have a lot of those options that we had. So it's even more crucial now to make sure you've got stuff set up. So
and they get so occupied on their devices, on their iPhones and iPads and whatever, that an entire day could go by before your kid even says, "I'm bored," or like in the past when they were little, you'd always get the I'm bored, and then you'd have to get creative.
Yeah.
Now, turn your back and 3 hours have passed and they're still watching that damn screen.
Well, and you know what? A lot of the blame has to be put on the parents as well, too. I mean, I think, us as parents, sometimes you just want it to just be quiet and you just want them to kind of, go sit in your room or go do something, be busy because they're driving you crazy. I'm bored. I want to go do something. So when they're gone for an hour or two in their room and they're on their phone, we tend to say, oh, okay, they're quiet.
I can get some stuff done.
I can get some stuff done. The problem is that turns into hours and that turns into days and
it's just bad habits.
Exactly. So, during the summertime, there's so many things you can do. I mean, if you try to schedule daily activities, in terms of physical activities, like going for a walk, going to the park, letting them play. I mean, depending on the age of the kids, you can even, organize sporting events or games with,
other friends
as play dates.
Yeah.
Instead of having them, the play dates coming to the house and saying, okay, well, my friend's coming over today and we're just going to sit here and watch TV or blah, blah, whatever. Get a few friends together and go to the park, play soccer. There's so many different
equipment.
There's so many things that you can do, right?
Yeah.
In order to do that. And then, going back to the whole technology thing and the phones and everything, parents need to use that to their advantage.
Sure.
Because if the kids are stuck on these things and they love to use them and they love their apps and everything, there's so many apps out there.
Free, by the way.
Free apps that encourage physical activity.
Yeah.
Like for an example, Maddie and I downloaded a 5K runner program a couple weeks ago, and it's called Couch to 5K.
She was so excited about it.
Oh, she was pumped. She was pumped because it gives you that structure as opposed to saying, okay, let's just go for a walk, or okay, let's just this. So, this app, you log into it and it gives you 3 running days per week, and it tells you exactly what to do on those days of the week. For instance, it'll start you off with a 5-minute warm up, walking. Then it'll have you jogging for 30 seconds and then walking for 90 seconds, and then jogging, and it increases as the days and weeks go on, but it's structured, and you have to hit targets and goals.
And it talks to you, right?
It talks to you while you're running.
Kids love that stuff.
Yeah. So it talks to you, it encourages you, and it tells you when you're doing awesome, and it tracks it's got a GPS tracker on it, so it shows exactly where you've gone. I mean, you can go as detailed as getting a heart rate monitor if you wanted, but I mean, you know what? We're just talking about simple exercise activities here. So there's tons of stuff like that, on the phones. So, if your kid's stuck on the phone like everybody else's kid, well, you know what? Tell them to bring his phone with them. It's got music. You play music in the background, but it's actually telling you what to do to keep active. Yeah. And there's apps for yoga, and there's apps for different like aerobic style stuff you can do at home. So, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to leave the house to do stuff. There's a lot of different things that you can do. And I think parents have to keep that in mind for the summertime,
for
right?
Sure.
Because it can get away from you really quick, just like you said, right?
Absolutely.
So,
I mean, for us, I know like keeping our kids physically active is easy because we do it ourselves.
Yes. Yeah.
So like we're firm believers in leading by example. Yeah. So, I mean, we're lucky in that sense, but this is a two-way street. Kids can motivate the parents just as much as the parents motivate the kids to get out there and get active. Yeah. I mean,
like this thing with Maddie's a perfect example. Like Maddie has the app on her phone too, and it alerts you when it's ready for your next run. So she's coming to me and going, hey, okay, Dad, we got to run tonight, right? So after school or after work or whatever it is, we're going to go out for a run. So yeah, I mean, it turns into the kids actually motivating the parents. Cause I mean, let's face it, sometimes we just don't want to do anything.
Of course.
You're all like, okay, I just don't, nobody ask me to do anything. I just want to sit here, please. But then when your kid's excited to go for that walk or that run or whatever it may be, it kind of motivates you. Like, you know what? Huge. Yeah, we should. Right. So it makes us do it too. Right. So, I mean, we're lucky in that sense that we are fit and active so that our kids follow our lead. But a lot of parents aren't, and that's understandable. So, you just have to find different ways to do it.
And I think too, like we count this physical time that we spend doing with our kids as like quality family time.
Yeah.
So you have to think of that, like instead of just sitting around a bowl of popcorn watching a movie, spending time with your kids, which is just as important. Maybe have that translate into doing something active. Yeah. And using that as your family bonding time.
I mean, taking any sort of a class, like we do yoga. I mean, that's one thing we do with our kids too. Once a week we go and there's different types of classes. So you don't have to do, people get intimidated. Well, I've never even worked out before, so I can't go to yoga, but we do a beginner class. It's called restorative. It's a very basic beginner class. Breathing. And we go with the kids and it's awesome. The 4 of us will go and it's a bonding thing, and because prior to the class, we're excited to go. And after the class, we're talking about it and, we're getting excited and stuff like that. So there's a lot of different things that you can do with the kids. But I think it's important that, you don't pressure the kids into doing anything like that.
Absolutely.
We've been lucky and we've been blessed that, our kids just kind of grew up watching us do this. So to them, it's completely normal that, we spend a lot of time at the gym. We spend a lot of time prepping meals. We spend a lot of time talking about fitness and health, and they've come to our bodybuilding shows and all that kind of stuff like that. So for us, we don't have to pressure the girls into doing stuff. They automatically know that that's just normal and we just do it. Yeah. But, for a lot of parents out there that aren't physically active, the kids aren't going to have that. They're not going to have that luxury. Right. So, but I think it's important to remember not to be pressuring the kids into doing it, because then it just becomes, it becomes a headache, because they're not going to want to do it. As soon as you tell them to do something they don't want to do, it becomes a headache.
I think to go along with your point there, I know for us, we can tell our listeners how we're really sensitive to the vocabulary we use when we try to motivate the kids to do something. Yeah. We use words like just getting healthy, being fit,
being strong.
Yeah. Exactly. You never want to make your child feel like you're encouraging them to work out because they have weight to lose or because they need to gain some muscle or whatever the case may be. Yeah. You have to really reinforce it in a positive way in order to create a healthy body image. Yeah. So you want them to know that they're working out to be fit, for heart health, for, overall health, not to get skinny or build muscle or.
Well, it's those key words, like you said, because the kids nowadays, it doesn't matter. You're not going to shelter your kids from any of this stuff. They're going to see it. It's on TV. It's online. I mean, never mind TV. They don't even barely watch TV anymore. It's online. It's on their phones. It's on Netflix. It's on Instagram. And, they follow people like the Kardashians and all these pop stars that they see online. And you know what? I mean, these people are online. They're making money, but they're advertising, diet teas and all these different things and creams and blah, 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 that make you lose weight and make you get skinny and thigh gap and all these crazy words that they throw out there. So the kids are hearing that, right? So it's important to hear it from their parents that, we're not looking at this as a way to get skinny.
Right.
We're looking at this to get healthy, to get fit, to get strong, to have a good body image about ourselves, right?
Right. And just to develop good habits. Yeah. Like between you and I, the younger you start them, the more they're going to carry this on into adulthood. And we just want to create a good, healthy foundation for them. Yeah. And it teaches a lot of discipline too, because, absolutely. In order to be, fit and healthy that way, your nutrition has to be, on track, your training or whatever it is, the style of physical activity that you're doing has to be on track. So it teaches you how to structure those into your life. Like for our kids, we emphasize, the training and the eating well that they do outside of the pool and outside of the soccer field and the dance studio, how it's going to enhance their performance and everything else, like how it's going to translate to their everyday activities. Yeah. So for our kids, they eat toward their goals and they know that they're working out to be stronger, to stand up taller. So on the dance floor, you're more graceful, whatever the case may be. So, give them that kind of motivation that, working out is going to help your baseball swing and your endurance if we're, things like that.
For all sports, for anything. Swimming, for dance, for anything like that. I mean, that's an awesome way to encourage your kids to get fit and get healthy. Right. Is just using what they already love. Yeah. If your kid loves to play hockey, teach them that the importance of training and getting a stronger core and stronger legs is going to make you skate faster. Or swimming. I'll use Maddie for an example in swimming. She's really excited that now she's able to come to the gym because she wants to train her shoulders and her lats, and she sees these Olympic swimmers and how their bodies are shaped, and she is excited. So they're not looking at it in a way of, I hate my body and I have to change it, so I'm going to work out. They're looking at it and going, okay, this is going to make me a faster swimmer. This is going to make me a better dancer, a better hockey player, or whatever. And, like you said about food, it's really important that, we teach them that they're eating towards their goals, right? So it's not that we're eating less carbs because we want to lose weight or we want to be skinny. Right. No, we're eating carbs prior to our events. Yeah. Because we need the fuel for the events, right? We're eating our proteins and carbs afterwards in order to refuel. And,
these are all topics we're going to touch on a future podcast, how exactly we
structure the meals and all that kind of stuff like that.
Yeah, for our kids based on their activities.
Yeah. But I mean, it's just about making sure that, us as parents, we're using the right words, we're using the right terminologies with the kids. And it's not just about, okay, you should start walking, whatever, you're putting on a little bit of weight and you're putting on, because we think that, okay, well, I'm just going to tell them, they're putting on a little bit of weight and go for a walk. It's terrible.
Not a good idea.
Not a good idea, because they're already seeing this stuff online, right? So, we have to enforce that. So again, strong, healthy, fit, those are key words that you want to focus on, with the kids, and keeping them engaged in all that stuff, right?
Right.
So
to go along with what you were saying about we teach them about the food and having like a good healthy diet according to our goals. For us, we stress a lot about good quality sleep.
Yeah.
That's another huge factor. Yeah. A lot of kids out there don't get enough sleep. They don't get good quality sleep. Yeah. And I think our kids, it's like just ingrained in their minds.
Well, for us, it's a funny story, but with our kids, we always go to bed early. Jen and I are usually up around 4 a.m. We're usually out of the house by 4:30. We go train. So for us to get up at 4 a.m, we got to be in bed by like 9 o'clock the latest. So sometimes at 8:30 at night, we're in bed. And in the summertime, it's funny because it's still light outside. The birds are chirping and the kids are playing in the streets, and our house is dark and the shades are pulled down and we're all in bed. And the kids are going, well, Mom, the kids are outside still playing. Why are we asleep, right? But it's something that we've ingrained in them, and they've learned over the years the importance of sleep. Because so many kids, the parents go to bed and they stay up, or they sit in their rooms on their phones and they're up till 2, 3 in the morning.
That's insane.
And their metabolisms aren't working properly, because if you're not getting enough sleep, we know what it does to our metabolism, right?
Slows it down. You don't recover.
Exactly.
You're not growing. It's
so there's so many different things. Like, that's a big part of, your kids are starting to gain weight, and you might think it is a lack of physical activity in their diet, but sleep plays a huge role in that, right? Your metabolism has so much to do with your sleeping. So, we try to encourage our kids to get enough rest, get enough sleep, and they're up early. Our kids are usually up between 6:30 and 7. So they're sleeping from 9 till about 6:30 or 7 every single day, and it's the same. So our bedtime routine for the kids is they have to be in bed by 8:30. They have to be in their rooms. 9 o'clock is bedtime. So from 8:30 till 9 o'clock, they can be on their phones. They can, read a book. They can do whatever they want. They can talk to each other, sit in their rooms. But 9 o'clock, all the electronics are gone. The computer's gone. The phones are gone. Everything's gone. And they have to be in bed. So they have no choice but to fall asleep, right?
And
so
they do. And
they do.
We know now, after all these years of that practice, 9:30 rolls around and they can't keep their eyes open.
No, they can't.
Like,
They're
I need
so
my sleep.
used to it, and they sleep right through, even on the weekends.
Yeah.
We get, we're party animals on the weekends. Sometimes we stay up till 10:30, 11 o'clock. We're animals. But even then, the kids are wide awake at 7 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday. And Jazzy complains, I wanted to sleep in today. Well, why didn't you? Well, I can't. I just wake up, right? So
those are all really, things to think about on how to create like a healthy environment for your kids.
Yeah, exactly.
And keeping them active is I think the biggest thing.
It is. And we have to be the ones to push for that, because let's face it, the kids aren't going to do it on their own. Right. Unless you have a kid who's just, a rarity, who just wants to be out there and an athlete and wants to, be on the ice all the time, run the soccer field all the time. Let's face it, there are kids out there like that, but the majority of them are not.
Right.
So it's up to us as parents to find things to do for them. So this coming summer, try to keep your kids active. Set a schedule and don't leave it day to day. That's the problem, is when you leave things day to day,
you get busy.
And then you don't end up doing anything. You're like, okay, well, we'll do it tomorrow. But find something to do for them every single day. If you
it doesn't have to cost a lot. No. Sorry to interrupt you. Like, those apps you were talking about, go to the park, climb some equipment. There are tracks all over. There's
the high schools all have tracks in the back there.
Community pools, or you can join a class, do family yoga, take them to the gym, whatever the case
city
may
that
be.
you're in. There's YMCAs everywhere. There's, municipal tracks and stuff like that everywhere. So, get out there, get your kids active, and teach them these good habits, because trust me, it's going to be huge for them in the future. And it's going to build a foundation and a platform for discipline moving forward.
Absolutely.
Right? I think we've seen that huge in our girls.
Yeah.
We're so proud of the way they've grown up watching us do this. And now that, we told them they were getting gym memberships last week, and they were excited. They were so pumped up about it. A normal kid would probably go, well, I don't want to go.
You're dragging me to the gym.
Yeah, what am I going to go to the gym for? Why do I go? But our kids were excited about it. So again, you know what?
We want to share that with you and give you some ideas on how to get your kids active. Maybe this is going to inspire some parents to get themselves active.
Yeah, exactly. And it will, like we
so.
said, the kids will motivate the parents, right?
Yeah, I hope
so. You know what? We welcome your feedback on this topic or any of the other topics we talk about. So, you know, give us your ideas. Talk about, you know, let us know what you've been doing with your kids. You know, comment on the YouTube video or email us. You know, it's jen@richbody.ca or richie@richbody.ca. You know, let us know what you guys have been doing. You know, maybe there's things out there that you're doing that, you know, we could share with other families, and, you know, that's,
for sure.
You know, different activities that are going on and stuff like that. So we welcome your feedback. You know, we thank you for all of you for listening to our podcast. We've got a few really good episodes coming up. We've got some exciting guests that we've lined up, and these are really, really inspiring people that have gone through some horrendous stuff in their life, sickness, illness, whatever it may be, and health and fitness is what has brought them back to better than what they were before.
Yeah. Can't wait to hear their stories
and
share it all with you.
Exactly. Yeah, we're pumped to share that with you. So thank you again for listening to our podcast. We look forward to hearing from you guys. Go to our website, richbody.ca, and our Instagram and Facebook pages, RichBody, and subscribe to us on YouTube at RichBody TV and on iTunes at the RichBody Podcast. So thanks for listening, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.